Hello, Tom Maguire. I'm just going to review the book Thinking Better, The Art of the Shortcut by Marcus Du Sautoy. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This, when I listened to it on Audible, didn't have any reviews at all, so I'm not sure how popular it's going to be. I think it's probably going to gain a bit of popularity as time goes by, to be fair. It's been reviewed by the Financial Times quite positively. I think it's a really good book. It's really interesting. I'm not someone who's particularly interested in maths. I never particularly enjoyed it in school. It was never something that came naturally to me. I just used to find it quite frustrating and dry. But I am very into personal development and I am a very curious person. I find most subjects interesting in one way or another, or from one kind of angle or perspective or another. And I would love to be better at maths and to have a better understanding, because I do think that it's a really fundamental thing, isn't it? And so I do have a curiosity to understand it, but a lot of this stuff did go over my head. I'm not the best at concentrating on kind of mathematical things, I suppose. But it was interesting. He weaves in interesting bits of history. It's about different shortcuts and how over time we've kind of found easier ways to work things out from in terms of the distance of celestial objects, the sun and moon and all those sorts of things. To more kind of practical things, rolling dice and counting cards and all that sort of stuff. And it's just very interesting, memory techniques as well, which is something I'm really into. Sequences, patterns, how our brains kind of cope far more or work with patterns and how that makes things a lot more straightforward. And his argument really that I really liked is that he enjoys shortcuts not because they make things easier, but because they give you that kind of light bulb moment once you've worked them out. So actually the joy is having the problem in the first place and kind of trying to work out how to get there, how to solve it. And once you've worked out a shortcut, once you've worked out that key to unlocking it, that's the exciting part, and I like that. And I think there's a hell of a lot of truth in that, particularly when it comes to personal development. It's about the hard work, it's about the journey. So I really like that. I'm not going to give any spoilers on this book. I'm not going to talk about it for too long because I didn't kind of click with it well enough to give you too much depth, really. But it is worth giving it a go. I'd say particularly if you're interested in maths, but even if you're not interested in maths, it's interesting. It's a good one. So I'm just going to read you a quick blurb of one review I came across, just because I haven't got much more to say about it. So many of the stories and examples, beginning with Gauss's alleged feat of calculation, will be familiar to people who enjoy popularizations of mathematics. Du Sautoy's mashups of art, music and mathematics have sometimes pushed the boundaries of mathematical popularization in unusual directions, but here he mostly plays it straight. This is the greatest hits of mathematical ideas presented with trademark clarity and energy. That was the Financial Times on 3rd of August, actually. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I just think, being a kind of curious person, I'm interested in lots of different things. I like to try books sometimes that are outside my normal comfort zone. And this was outside of my comfort zone, to be honest. I was probably being a bit lazy. I don't think you need to concentrate that hard necessarily to understand it, but I just kind of found myself switching off a bit. I think I probably just wasn't in quite the right headspace for it. I think I'd probably give it a go again at some point. But anyway, good book. Please keep liking and subscribing, and I'll be back again soon. Cheers.